Alrighty, so talking about the new Pokemon up in Mount Ember. Now that we've gotten the National Pokédex, say hello to Slugma and its evolved form, Macargo. You can find them both in Mount Ember at pretty decent amount of levels. The problem that I have with these, they're so slow. In fact, speaking of the stats, I'm no longer going to be showing the stats of all the Pokemon here from now on, because they'll just take up a little too much time, so I really want to get through this. Macargo is a pretty decent fire type. Once it evolved from Slugma, it gains a rock type. So that means it has more weaknesses, but it does get more defense on it. The only problem is that it is really freaking slow. And so, heading out for Icefall Cave. There are 5 new Pokemon that you can find out there. One of them is Meryl, another Gen 2 Pokemon that we have yet to see. Meryl is not a bad Pokemon. It's really difficult to use at first, but later on it becomes actually not a bad water type Pokemon. If you have not gotten a water type already, Meryl's actually not a bad one that I would recommend. Before I go on, I forgot to mention that Meryl is only exclusive to Leaf Green. I forgot to mention. But in FireRed, we would get Wooper. Wooper is actually a much better water type Pokemon that I would recommend than Meryl. It may be a water type, but it also has a ground type for its subtype, meaning it only has one weakness: grass. It's quad damage to it, but if you can handle with that, it is a fantastic water Pokemon. Another Pokemon that you can find out here, but only in Leaf Green, is Sneasel. Sneasel is a very interesting Pokemon, very unique typing, a dark ice type Pokemon. It is incredibly fast and is a really good physical attacker. It's a real shame that its evolution, Weavile, is not accessible in this game. Not until the next generation, of course. But if it was, I would recommend this one pretty good. If you haven't gotten an ice type already, if you want one, now's your chance. But only if you're playing Leaf Green, of course. Exclusive to FireRed, unfortunately, is Delibird. Delibird, the only thing I can really say about it is, yuck. Delibird is a horrible Pokemon. I do not recommend this one at all. If you just want a Delibird, just for some shits and giggles, Delibird is not a bad Pokemon to have. I just don't recommend this one a lot. It has terrible stats, terrible move pool, just everything about it sucks. Finally, the last Pokemon that you can find is Swinub. Swinub is a very nice ice Pokemon. It's also a nice ground type Pokemon as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't evolve into its final evolution, Mamoswine, in this game. But if it could, I would recommend this one a whole lot. It's not a bad Pokemon, but it would be a whole lot better if we would get Mamoswine in this particular game. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not a bad Pokemon. It also has a whole lot of weaknesses, so I'd be careful with Swinub.